With the manga space so competitive and tough to stand out in, one creator broke through in an unimaginable way and took the world by storm, all the while staying back in the shadows. This is the story of manga creator One. Most of One's life is shrouded in mystery, as he even goes by the alias One or Tomohiro, but he has revealed that he grew up in Saitama and Niigata, where he led a mostly quiet childhood. One day as a young child, his parents bought him a manga series called Cran Shinshin, which would forever change his life. It was with this gift that One had discovered his passion, manga creation. After he read through Cran Shinshin, One started practicing his drawing and eventually created his first ever manga called Sunman, around the age of just 10 years old. One has stated that he actually had to drop this manga though because he made the final boss too hard to beat, so he could not continue the story. He also created another manga in his childhood known as Tennis Player Ryu, which is actually an Easter egg in the One Punch Man manga. Although not much is known about One, he has mentioned that he played tennis all throughout middle school and high school. However, he only played casually as his true interest was in manga. Some people speculate that's why he actually created the manga Tennis Player Ryu. Growing up and still to this day, One compares himself very much to one of the characters he created, Shigeo or Mob from Mob Psycho 100. He finds similarities in that he feels like he can't fully express himself or keep his emotions hidden a lot of the time. Due to this, and not wanting to disappoint the people around him, including his family, One kept his dream of being a mangaka a secret until college. It was there when One started publishing his webcomics onto his own site, but due to lack of traction, he decided to switch gears and publish them on free webcomic sites, one of which, called Nicha, a play on the word NEET, not in education, employment, or training, was where another popular mangaka rose to fame as well, Sui Ishida, the creator of Tokyo Ghoul. One's manga creation style was quite different from others in the space. For a while, there was a general consensus that One's drawing abilities were subpar in the manga community. It was because of this that actually caused him to almost quit pursuing his dreams, as he felt he couldn't draw as well as other mangakas. Although this obstacle was in front of him, One actually drew quite a bit. His drawing style is arguably unique, as he is self-taught and had never worked as an assistant for a manga artist, skipping the traditional path. In an interview with Tokyo Reimi Note, he recalled how he had filled up about 50 notebooks worth of drawings. Even with this obstacle in front of him, One more than made up for it with his unique and almost addictive storytelling. He puts a heavy emphasis on storyboarding for preparation, as well as in the creation process. If you are enjoying this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. It's free and you can always change your mind later. And also comment down below on who you would like to see me do next. 2009 was arguably the biggest year for One, as that is when he uploaded the first chapter of One Punch Man as a webcomic. He decided to approach the story from a different angle, really setting itself apart from most superhero manga. When creating the hero Saitama, One was actually inspired by the opposite of all of the heroes that were already in the world. He said, "The world is full of cool looking heroes, so I don't think I want something like that. Plus, I believe that heroes' coolness comes from their spirit and not their looks." One Punch Man follows Saitama as a superhero who can defeat anyone with a single punch, but still goes through the mundane aspects of life. It was a unique twist on the genre at that time because nobody had seen anything like it. One's motivation for creating an already all-powerful superhero was to establish storytelling in an environment that focused on other aspects of the characters themselves. The famous main character Saitama was based off of where One grew up and is arguably one of the most popular protagonists in all of manga and anime. With One's creation of Saitama, he has also popularized one of the most famous debates in anime history: who would win in a fight, Goku or Saitama? When creating a main protagonist, One once said about his idea to do this, the one who is working so hard to survive in society. For instance, although in the background setting of One Punch Man it is very serious, the main protagonist reversely brings up numerous funny elements to survive within that severe world. This approach turned out to be the best choice One could have ever made, as the first chapter of One Punch Man gained some traction. This was surprisingly not to the reaction that he expected though. In an interview, he once said, "I tried out drawing 15 pages and uploaded it with my PC for the first time. That was One Punch Man Chapter 1. I didn't have any real plans for continuing the story and just posted it up without thinking of what to do next. But perhaps because I submitted it as Chapter 1, it got a great response." Okay, maybe not great, but a decent response. So I figured I might as well try drawing a continuation of the story. From there, the demand grew on Nietzsche, as One had uploaded 5 chapters within a week. He started getting a lot of viewers, and by chapter 30, he was receiving thousands of comments, and other mangakas like Oshan Manabu, Kasu Totsuko-san, and blogs were even sharing sharing his work. This was the start of something special for One. Although things were starting to look positive for One in his dream of becoming a manga creator, he had to take a step back in 2010 to deal with family issues. He had taken a more stable job and had taken an indefinite break from One Punch Man and manga altogether. However, it was at this time that a manga artist known as Yusuke Murata had come across One's work online. He was fascinated by the storytelling and was coming up off the wrap of one of his most notable works at the time, I Shield 21, an American football series. He decided to reach out to One and offer to re-illustrate One Punch Man, but found out about his indefinite leave. Murata was unfortunately plagued with health issues around this time as well, where he was quoted saying, "Around that time, I was actually really sick. I broke out in hives, my inner organs were infected, and I couldn't breathe. I was in the hospital when I thought, I guess people die just like that. If I'm going to die, I want to do something I really love to do. I want to draw manga with Mr. One. That's what I thought." From there, they started their collaboration by partnering with two short mangas, which were named Dangan Tenchi Fan Club and Angry Warrior, which received tons of positive feedback from their readers, and they decided to collaborate further. This couldn't have been more perfect timing for both of them, as things were seeming gloom. With Murata joining the project of One Punch Man, the manga industry has started taking more interest in the series. The manga started going viral online and was reaching over 100,000 visits per day in 2015 and has surpassed over 70 million total visits. From Murata's connections in the industry, one of the most famous agencies in Japan, Shueisha, reached out and they agreed to a publishing deal. By 2016, One Punch Man was the 9th best-selling manga that year and won the Sugoi Award, which is a prestigious award in Japan given to outstanding works of art. Other notable winners of this award are Attack on Titan and My Hero Academia. One Punch Man's trajectory was seemingly sky high as it sold over 7 million copies in just 2 years and is estimated to have sold over 30 million copies to date. One Punch Man eventually got an anime adaptation which received critical acclaim for its first season. It was praised for its uniqueness, animation, humor, character, and fight scenes, and received a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. With One Punch Man soaring both in manga and anime, the second season released to mixed reviews. Although the humor, characters, and story were still praised, reviewers criticized the obvious drop in the quality of animation following the change of studios. It came with extremely harsh fan reviews. Some fans even wrote on websites like this, One Punch Man, a series loved by many for bombastic animation and hilarious physical comedy, has been viciously murdered by JC staff. Unless you have been living under a rock for the last year, it's known throughout the anime community that Madhouse handed the second season of One Punch Man to JC staff, a studio known for cutting corners in their animation, and there is still no certain news on the continuation of the third season of the anime. The manga, however, is still continuing. It is possible that One and the creators are taking a break to ensure that the third season returns to its original form. In January 2017, One took another 2-year hiatus until releasing the 109th chapter of One Punch Man in 2019. This, however, was not the only project One had been working on, and was not the only project that was shining due to its original and outstanding storytelling. Mob Psycho 100 released in 2012 and was serialized on Shogakukan's Ura Sunday until 2017. Mob Psycho follows Shigeo Kageyama, an average middle schooler who happens to be an esper with psychic powers. The first season of the anime adaptation aired in 2016 to extremely positive reception. During the same year, Mob Psycho had sold 1.2 million copies and won one of Japan's major awards, the 62nd Shogakukan Award in the Shonen category for Best Shonen. The manga was released in English in 2018, and this is where the majority of fans were surprised at One's drawing abilities he showcased throughout the manga. There were some extremely beautiful panels in the series that made fans decide One actually can draw to a very high degree, losing that infamous critique of his past. The anime released its second season in 2019, and the third season is set to premiere in October 2022. It has been named one of the best animes of the 2010s by Polygon, IGN, and Crunchyroll. Anime News Network even named it the best anime of 2016. The series has become so popular that One created a spin-off of one of the side characters called Reagan. With the new trailer from Mob Psycho just having released, it's safe to say fans are ready for Season 3 of Mob Psycho 100. Other notable works of One are Angry Warriors, Makai no Asan, Monster of Earth, Cockroach's Buster, and Bullet Angel Fan Club. Some of these he still collaborates with Yusuke Murata, as they seem to have a very wonderful relationship working together. One may have come from an untraditional background in manga, but his extreme hard work and perseverance has created some of the most memorable moments in manga and anime. and is truly something to be inspired by. Although there were some downs accompanied by his ups, one never gave up on his dreams, and although he does not put himself in the spotlight, it's safe to say his works will remain there for years to come, and fans look forward to all he has in store for the future.